Hey everyone, just before we get into this video, I am talking about an individual company in this video, as you've probably seen by the title. So please don't take any of this as investment advice or a recommendation or anything like that. Do your own research as always, but with that said, I hope you enjoy the video. Hey guys, Tom here from the Investing with Tom YouTube channel. Welcome back to the channel. If you enjoyed today's video, hit like, hit subscribe, and that way you can see future videos as well. So just this past weekend, I did a joint live stream with Brad Kellner. We teamed up and we talked through all things Seritage growth properties. So if you haven't already seen that live stream, I definitely recommend going and checking that out. It basically goes through what Seritage growth properties is, all the way through to a liquidation value, what's the upside, what's the downside, and just trying to get a better handle on that business overall. So one of the things that I touched on briefly in that live stream was this idea of leverage. Seritage growth properties has quite a large amount of debt. And I basically gave the example of if you bought a home, if you bought $1 million home, had say $500,000 in debt, $500,000 in equity in that property, you would be very highly leveraged to the price of that home. So if the price of the home dropped 50%, if it went from $1 million to $500,000, you've still got your $500,000 loan, but you've now got zero equity. So your equity sort of either shrinks or grows at about twice the rate of the actual asset value moving around. So that's a point that I want to actually dive into a little bit deeper with Seritage growth properties in particular. I've gone ahead and put some numbers behind, what happens to the liquidation value of Seritage if the asset values, if the price of their properties goes up 10 or 20 or 30%, or if it goes down 10 or 20 or 30%. How does that actually impact the share price? Because we know that if there's leverage built in, a 10% drop in the asset values for Seritage is going to result in more than a 10% drop in the basically liquidation value, because we've still got the full value of that debt sitting in the business. So those are some stats I want to get into today. If you do enjoy the video, hit like and hit subscribe. Drop any comments or questions you have down below. But for now, let's get straight into some of the numbers. Now, the first chart I'm going to put up on the screen here is a long-term history of the median house price in the US. And really what I was trying to get out of this particular chart is to try and understand if we do go through some really bad economic times, even worse than perhaps we had earlier this year, if that continues on for a long period of time, or we go into some sort of very deep recession or depression, what's kind of the worst case scenario in terms of what happens to the asset values of Seritage growth properties. Now, if we look back to say 2007, 2008, where we had the housing bubble burst over in the US, I think that's going to be a pretty good representation of perhaps a worst case scenario. Fingers crossed it doesn't ever get worse than that in my lifetime or in our lifetimes. But it's a good reference point to kind of see how much those asset values dropped. Now, this is going to be for the entire US, so it's not going to be representative of every single state or every single city or town or whatever. Some will have moved more than this, some will have moved less than this, but Seritage has a pretty diverse set of assets within the business as well. So I think if we just look at a US average, it's probably going to be a pretty good representation. So what we found is that in 2007 to 2008, there was a drop of right around 20% in the median home price in the US, and that recovered over the following probably 3 to 4 years, as you can see from this chart. So 20% drop in median house price. If we actually look at the commercial property index, so Seritage growth properties obviously owns a lot of retail space and that sort of thing, rather than single family homes or anything like that. We actually saw a slightly more aggressive drop. So this particular chart isn't showing you the overall value. This is just showing you like a percentage change in those real estate prices year over year. And what you'll see is that through that same period from 2008 to 2009, we saw about a 30% decrease in the prices for commercial property in the US. So I'm going to use that as my sort of worst case scenario in these examples for Seritage specifically, as a 30% decrease. I want to see how much that flows through to impacting the equity value for common shareholders in Seritage. So let's get straight into those numbers. Let's look at a 10%, 20%, 30% drop and try and understand how that impacts the liquidation value per share for common stockholders in Seritage. Now, with the current work that Brad has done on SRG to try and understand what each of these properties are worth, this is sort of the current figures that Brad came up with. So for the wholly owned properties, and all the numbers you see here are in millions in this table, for the wholly owned properties, we have about 3.025 billion in asset values from there. We have a little under 500 million come through from the joint venture properties. In terms of the liabilities Seritage currently has, we have 1.6 billion in debt from Berkshire Hathaway. The liquidation value of the preferred stock is about $70 million. And if we subtract both the Berkshire debt and the preferred stock away from those two asset values, we land on about 1.85 billion in equity that can be applicable to the common stock that you can buy in the open market. So 1.85 billion, if we divide that by about 56 million shares, that lands us on in and around $33 per share if Seritage were just to liquidate everything today and get a reasonable market price for those properties. Okay, so what happens if we have a 10% decrease in some of those asset values? If we have some sort of bear market through the commercial property sector, how does that impact asset values, and how does that flow through to the equity value for common stockholders? So if we look at the minus 10% scenario, we see a drop in our wholly owned properties from 3.025 billion to 2.723 billion. Don't get too caught up in the very specific last couple of digits here. This is really just to get some rough estimates of what we could potentially expect here. So we dropped to about 2.7 billion in wholly owned properties. We dropped to roughly 450 million in the joint venture properties. And here's the kicker. So when the asset values go down, the debt doesn't decrease. And this is what I really mean by we're sort of leveraged to those asset values. So the Berkshire debt is still 1.6 billion. The preferred stock liquidation value is still 70 million. And that means an overall common equity drop from 1.85 billion to about 1.5 billion. Now, in terms of per share, that drops us from about $33 a share liquidation value to a little under $27 per share in liquidation value. And basically what that works out at on a percentage basis is, even though we've got only a 10% decrease in the asset values for Seritage, we've got about a 19% decrease in the value of the common equity. And that trend continues on. So if we have a minus 20% change in property values, we have a minus 38% change in the equity value. And if we have that big 30% drop equivalent to what we had in 2007/2008, that 30% drop in asset values results in a 57% drop in the equity value for Seritage. And in terms of per share value, that lands us on right around $14 per share approximately. Great thing for SRG is this works the other direction as well. So if asset prices do go up, again, we're leveraged to that movement. So I'll put up a graph form here. You'll see in the blue we have basically the percentage change in asset values, and in the red we have the change in liquidation value. And basically what you'll see is that as property or asset values go down, we see the liquidation value go down greater than that, and as asset values go up, we see the liquidation value go up greater than that amount. So we are leveraged to that price movement in the commercial property market. So that's really all I had for this video. It's just a point that I mentioned in the live stream that I wanted to flesh out a little bit more, because I think it is an important point that SRG shareholders, or really any business where you've got leverage involved, you are sort of exposed to that leverage, and you can have much larger swings up or down in your equity depending on how the asset value of the business changes. So I do hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you haven't seen the SRG live stream already, definitely go and check that out. Head over to Brad's channel if you haven't seen that, and subscribe to Brad as well. So definitely go and check that one out. But that is all from me today, so I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit like and hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.